like and share the content as well, so that more people get to know about Bharata First. Right. So ever since the UPSC CSE results were declared, we've been speaking to toppers here at Bharata First, and we've spoken to quite a few of them. Today, it is time to meet another one such topper, and it gives me great joy and pleasure to introduce Mridul Shivhare, All India rank 247 in UPSC CSE 2021. I closely interacted with him during the personality test events as well. And, ever since I saw him, I realized that he had a bright future, bright young boy, and very happy to see him achieve this dream of getting into the Indian public service. Wonderful, Mridul, and I'm so very happy. I can't tell you how happy I am. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So what does it feel like? We also had a short discussion. We spoke about how you're the first one from your district to get to where you are. What is the feeling like?
Sir, it is very exciting that I'm into the public service, and plus the kind of the reason why I want to be an IAS officer. I feel now that I am able to cherish my dream, and definitely it is very exciting to embark upon the journey of administration when we are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Mridul, tell us, was this your first attempt? What was it like? Take us through your UPSC journey.
Yes, so this was my first attempt at the UPSC civil service examination. And sir, last year only I did my graduation BA Political Science. And sir, I feel that it is really exciting to crack in the first attempt at the young age. So I feel that I am giving the message to the youngsters that the first attempt will be the last attempt. As you said in my personality test even, this is my message to the youngsters.
Very good, very good. And you're a young man. It's good to see you brimming with confidence, with a smile on your face. I can see the happiness, the positivity, and everything else that is there along with it. I'm so very happy for you. Mridul, let's start with the personality test first, right? Take us through the personality test. Did it go as expected? What was it like? Were there butterflies? How was it?
Sir, in the interview, I feel the questions were on expected lines only on the international relations like Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan relations, India, Sri Lanka relations. But sir, I feel the marking got not up to the expected lines. As I got only 154 marks in the personality test. As I was a young candidate, only first attempt was there. But sir, I feel mains enabled me to get through this examination. And sir, I am with your blessing here in front of you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now let's move to, was there anything that caught you off guard? Since we're talking about the interview, was there anything that caught you off guard, or you felt that, maybe, oh, I never thought of this?
Sir, actually, the board asked me to bear the marks in the face shield. So, sir, that's why I could not able to convey my views properly in front of chairman. Sir, this might be the case why I got less marks. Otherwise, sir, I answered the questions properly. Sir, leaving out one question only. That is, what is the contribution of MP in GST? I left this question only, and sir, I felt that I answered all the questions properly, but due to the lack of convenience, I could not able to convey my views to the chairman.
Absolutely. Well, these are COVID times, difficult times for everyone around as well. And, the board has unique ways of getting things out, getting personalities out of people as well. So they tend to do things like that. I remember once someone telling me that, the board members did not ask the candidate to sit down for a good 5 minutes because they wanted to just test and see how the reaction would be and how the person would react in a situation like that. Because don't forget that they are experienced people at the end of the day, general audience, I'm letting you know. And these are just ways, tips and tricks to get people to see how their personality really is. Okay, moving on from the personality test and the interview, Mridul, you spoke about the mains. You said mains went on very, very well. Was PSIR your optional?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how did the optional go?
Sir, actually, I would have to share one thing about the mains. Sir, I got COVID in the mains times. So, sir, I left the question of 170 marks in the mains. Sir, even after that, I got 807 marks in the mains. Because, sir, there were 2-3 mantras for this. Sir, the syllabus. Every point mentioned in the syllabus is asked in the UPSC. And sir, secondly, I would say the previous year question is the mantra in the Bible, I would say. Sir, because I have solved around 10 times these questions, And sir, I have never joined any test series or any coaching. So sir, I would say the UPSC never asked beyond the syllabus and the previous question. And sir, thirdly, my the USP was the notes making. Sir, I used to make notes from the authority source like Ministry of PRI, Ministry of Environment, and some World Bank reports. So I used to quote the keywords like the Prime Minister Modi ke keyword of Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas, regulatory cholesterol, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So sir, I felt that this keywords and the note making and the kind of interlinking I was doing in the mains answer enabled me to sail through the examination even after leaving the questions of 170 marks in the mains questions.
I'm only wondering, if you had actually attempted those 170 marks and if your personality test had gone according to plan, you would have probably finished in the top, top 20 or maybe even top 10. So, so is there another attempt along the way, Mridul, or you're happy with this?
Sir, actually, I will get into IAS because of I get 35 rank in the OBC category, and that's
okay. So first and last attempt, so that works out for you perfectly as well. That is wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that.
Remember your statement. So I still remember your statement that let your first attempt be the last attempt.
Now that you said it, yeah, I also remember it. I remember when we interacted, I knew that you had a very strong head on your shoulders. Your age was on your side, and you were a go-getter at the beginning itself. And we knew that you can go a really long way, and you have done it. You have really done it, and you should be an inspiration, Mridul, for youngsters to come, to let them know that if you really put your mind to it, you can go ahead and do it. You spoke about how you are not part of any test series and any coaching and any of that. So the mantra for many others is, if not a coaching institute, at least a test series, because they want that that kind of preparation. But you have done it without any of this. What was your content source from? Where did you source your content from? Where did you get, apart from the ministry websites and apart from these keywords that you used? Some things are not available everywhere. So how did you manage those aspects?
Sir, I will to give an example for this. So for example, the role of women in the PRIs are asked in the questions. How the Panchayati Raj has done the empowerment of women in India. So sir, people used to write the patriarchy points. Is the same point. Sir, what I used to do is to study the examples like Chabi Rajawat, Sushma Badu, Esther Duplo's studies there on the Ministry of Panchayati Raj and the role of women. So I used to quote them how these women are doing well. On the other hand, there is an example of Aarti Devi, how she was defeated by the no confidence motion of upper caste people. So sir, I used to write this example. So secondly, I would say the role of NGOs are there. So generally, people answer with the definition of NGO. Sir, I used to write India is a welfare state. We have to establish democracy in India, so the justice in India, the limited capacity of the state. That's why we need NGOs as a part of the state for democracy in India. So this is the context I used to build. And sir, in the COVID time, the Akshay Patra Foundation was doing great work in distributing the food to the people. So I used to write example of these practical examples, how these NGOs are promoting the administration and the welfare in the society.
So you brought in something new, you brought in something different, you brought in a breath of fresh air, really, because most of the UPSC aspirants are like machines coming out of factories. Everything is the same in an assembly line. But you were different because you looked at the examination very differently and looked at how to write these answers differently, and that is what caught the attention of the UPSC, isn't it?
Sir, one example I would to also quote in this. Sir, generally in Hindu marriages, 7 pledges are solemnized. But sir, in Hindu there were 8 pledges are there. 8 is for cleanliness. Sir, I wrote this example in the GS4 ethics paper. What is the public influence actually? What is the persuasion exactly? So this example caught the attention of the examiner. I feel that some practical examples they are demanding actually.
Absolutely. The times are changing. The country is changing. The nature of public service is changing as well. So it is important to evolve with the times and, try and bring in something new, something different. The Honorable Prime Minister is also talking about new ideas, out of the box ideas. And I guess that is what the UPSC is looking for. And that is the best way forward in dealing and tackling with the UPSC examination at hand. Very good. Mridul, a lot of people have a lot of challenge in the first hurdle itself, that is the prelims. what was your prelim strategy like? How did it help you? What was how was the way you tackled it?
So first, what I did is that I identify the question and the subject. For example, polity, 18 questions are asked, 16 to 18. Economy, 16 to 18. Modern history, 10 questions are asked. So environment, 25 questions are asked. And sir, even today, I don't know what is science and tech exactly for the prelims and the mains. Sir, frankly speaking, I don't know what is the exact syllabus. Sir, because I have to pass the exam. Sir, what I did is that in economy, in polity and modern history, the content is fixed. Just revise them again and again. That means, sir, your 80 marks are sure if you are accurate in this three subject. And sir, in environment, what the coaching institution are teaching is like the theoretical part. What is food web, what is food chain. But sir, UPSC is interested in 5-6 topics only. Suppose sir, NTCA is there, whether it is statutory body, constitutional body. Who is the chairman of this? Sir, any provision like critical wildlife habitat in which it can be established. Sir, acts, bodies, convention, any keywords in the news. These are topics for environment. So, sir, I feel that if you are done with the 3-4 subjects like polity, economy, modern history, some parts of medieval history, and some part of environment, sir, anyone can get 95 marks in the prelims, and that is the around 87 is the cutoff. But the problem comes when people, instead of going for previous year question, starts going for joining the doing more and more mock test paper of the coaching institutions. So because I feel UPSC is more authentic body. Sir, I used to hear one statement of any secretary of UPSC. He once said that we want the students to read the syllabus and the previous year questions because nothing is asked beyond them. Just here and there key used and misused, and they are asked the questions. So I feel the previous year question is the only Bible for these examinations.
Wonderful. Good to know that. Good to know that, and good to hear that as well, Mridul. Let's talk about another aspect now. What pushed you in this direction of public service and wanting to get into the Indian civil services? What is it that made you come here?
So the kind of background I comes from, it is sir, the hinterland background, rural background is there. So I felt if I become an engineer or a doctor, I can do many things for myself. But if going into the public service, I can do great good from society because sir, coming from the ground level, I know what the problems of society. So, for example, if common men feel hurted by the first line of defense, like police stations, police thanas, patwaris. So sir, I know that they cannot reach the SDM and the DM. So if I become the DM or the SDM or whatever it may be, I can make sure that these common masses should be accessible to me. Or if not me, then I should be able to some improvement in the society or the administration that they are accessible to the subordinate officer like Patwari, Tahsildar. This is my motivation that I want to be an IS officer.
Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. And as far as things that are close to your heart, what would that be? If you have one dream of changing something or doing something, what is it that is close to your heart, Mridul?
Sir, I feel by improving the situation of women and youths, I can do great good. Sir, because we are around 50% women are there in the Indian population, but the kind of literacy rate is very low. Sir, for example, the kind of cities I come from, the literacy rate is very less. So child sex ratio is very less. So sir, if we educate a woman, we educate a generation actually. So sir, if we able to educate the women and kind of self-employment to them, SHGs, so I can make sure that children also get benefited, education, health, malnutrition can be improved. So I feel youth and women will be a priority for this.
Wonderful. Good to know that. Good to know that. And before I let you go, finally, Mridul, what would you like to say to youngsters who would like to follow in your footsteps and would like to crack the UPSC in their first attempt? What would you like to say to them?
Sir, I would say 2-3 things only. Sir, first is the why of anything. That why do you want to be an IS officer or why do you want to be a civil servant? Sir, because the people ask me what is the motivation when your examination process. Sir, I feel the why this answer is the only answer. That why do we want to be an IS officer? There is some motivation behind this. And so secondly, I would say make syllabus and the PYQs as your Bible. Because once you have done mastery in them, you will definitely be able to crack the code from where UPSC asked the question. And so third, I would say instead of going for current affair, go for contemporary affair. So for example, China-US rivalry. This is not the issue of present day. This is going from past 3 decades. So I would say instead of going for any current affair, go for contemporary themes And sir, make sure that you are mature enough in the society. So for example, UPSC has the question that youths of good character are not doing the politics. Why? So this question can be answered only when you have some practical application of your theoretical part. And sir, newspapers and the Rajya Sabha TV and the Bharata First, especially the big picture part, is definitely this can help them in preparation. And so I would like to wish them best wishes that like me, they come with the flying colors in the coming years.
Wonderful to hear that, Mridul. Thank you so very much for joining me on Toppers Talk, sharing your strategy so wholeheartedly, without holding anything back and just letting the youth and everyone else know what needs to be done really as far as cracking the UPSC is concerned. I've told this to you before as well. You're a young man with a bright future ahead of you, with a very stable head on your shoulders. And I know that you'll do wonderfully well in life. I wish you the very best. Make us all proud, and in the process, make the country proud as well. Don't let us down, Mridul.
Sir, one thing I would like to also share in this. Sir, from 5-6 years, there is a perception that the people of IIT, DU, JNU are cracking. Sir, I was also feared by this, that I am from a very small college, the toppers, and all the students who are cracking this exam, they are from 7-8 colleges only, IITs, NIT, DU, JNU. How can I crack from very small city, from very small college? Never heard of this name. So, sir, I would like to say that if I can clear in the very first attempt at the age of 21, 22, from a very small college, everyone, be it from Kashmir, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, everywhere, he can definitely clear. There is no hurdle in this era of e-governance and the era of digital era. I would like to say that everyone can clear. And sir, my best wishes are with the youngsters, especially 20 to 22 years boys and girls who are aspiring to join the coveted civil services.
Thank you so much for putting that information through as well, Mridul. It's very, very important. North, east, west, south, wherever you are from, don't worry. You don't have to be from a premier institute or a premier college. All you need to do is give it your best shot. Work hard, work smart, understand what the UPSC wants, understand how times are changing, and change with the times, and you can do wonderfully well. This is what Mridul has done, and he has managed to crack the UPSC, that too with the choice of his service, that is IAS, in his very first attempt, being sick during the mains, personality test not going his way. Still, he has managed to secure such a wonderful rank and do wonderfully well. Really, I'm so very proud of you, Mridul, and I know that you'll do wonderfully well. You'll make this country proud, and you'll make every citizen of this country proud as well. I wish you the very best. Do well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, that was Mridul's turn to be on Toppers Talk and talk to us about how he has done in the UPSC, what he has done in the UPSC journey, and why he is where he is today, getting his choice of service, which is the Indian Administrative Service. We just heard as to how he went about securing that particular rank, even though he had so many turmoils in his life, even though he had so many issues and problems as such. So Mridul was one of those candidates whom I interacted with very closely, and you saw him mentioning about Bharata First as well, about how Bharata First takes you a long way as far as the UPSC is concerned. Here is something that we have on offer at the Bharata First Knowledge Center. Just take a listen in for the next 60 seconds or so. that is some information about some new classes that have been launched or that will be launched from August 2022 at the Bharata First Knowledge Center in International Relations and National Affairs. 40 classes in international relations, 40 classes in national affairs, and you'll be covered with regards to all current affairs through these 80 classes in all. There are extensive workshops, there are exercises to be conducted, as well as some special guest lectures and answer writing tips too. So all you need to do is log into kc.bharatafirst.com or download the Bharata First app and register for one of these courses. All these details you can get from our website. That's it from me. See you again next time.